The European integration of Ukraine is irreversible and has the full support of the Europeans. A new roadmap for reforms, financial and military assistance, support for the Ukrainian peace formula, the opening of a coordination center in The Hague to investigate Russian crimes, the restoration of Ukraine's infrastructure, and the training for Ukrainian military. Decisions on all these issues were approved at the 24th Ukraine-EU summit.
Please take your seats and we will this is yours.
Yes, thank you.
The European Union will adopt the 10th sanctions package by February the 24th, which will include restrictions on the usage of technology by Russia, restrictions on propaganda and energy influence. Basically, the package of anti-Russian restrictions will also focus on the inability to circumvent sanctions.
The 10th package is on its way. We have the aim to have it in place by the 24th of February. It has a volume of round about 10 billion euros. It's a massive package again. The plan is to focus once more on technology that can and should not be used by Russia's war machine. In other words, we look deeper into components that were found, for example, in drones, to make sure that there's zero availability for Russia of these technologies or the drones production.
The president of Ukraine also announced the need to bring Rosatom, Russian nuclear power company, under international sanctions. They captured 6 nuclear blocks, they captured our people, they captured the station management, and we really want some European states that still do not want to impose sanctions on Rosatom, on the leadership of Rosatom, on nuclear energy, so that they understand that at least sanctions should be imposed for this. We are very interested in the fact that Russia does not have the opportunity to revive defense production. Sanctions have slowed down all these processes. We clearly understand how many missiles were produced before the start of a full-scale invasion and what is happening now, thanks to the sanctions of the EU, the US, the UK and other partners. All EU support for Ukraine since the beginning of the invasion has reached 50 billion euros. This is unprecedented assistance, the Ukrainian president says. But we must not stop, because Russia wants revenge, so we need to act more actively. Chief EU diplomat Josep Borrell says that Ukraine should be given all the weapons. Europe sees no signs that the Putin regime is ready to stop. The pressure in the east of the country will increase. Russia wants revenge. It wants revenge exactly where it did not work out. They will also want to return and have revenge steps, remembering that defeat in the autumn in the direction of Liman. Resilience of our guys also depends on weapons and motivation. Despite the active phase of the aggressive Russian war against Ukraine, Kyiv is fulfilling all European integration recommendations quickly and efficiently, Ursula von der Leyen said. The EU will be able to give a full assessment of the implementation in the spring of 2023. The European Commission has allocated 1 billion euros to ensure the rapid recovery of schools, hospitals in Ukraine, and already has a dedicated secretariat to coordinate the process.
We are talking about those infrastructure facilities that need to be restored as soon as possible. These are the bridges that were destroyed, and it is clear that now our citizens are waiting for the restoration of their housing. In general, it is very important in this final document. There is a paragraph in the statement following the summit that concerns Russian money that is frozen or confiscated, because this is actually the resource that we must use for our full recovery.
But Ukraine is already a de facto part of the European Union. After all, Ukrainians not only cherish European values even under Russian missiles, but also act in accordance with the European integration vector. The EU delegation was convinced of this personally in the Ukrainian capital.
I had the occasion to go with Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal to a post office at the Maidan. And we met there with plenty of people that came to exchange their old light bulbs into LED, modern light bulbs. In the first 3 days, I was told 750,000 Ukrainian citizens came to the post office, that was the nearest, exchanged their old light bulbs into modern LED light bulbs to be part of those who save energy, and work for energy security. We are building, discussing and developing the future of Ukraine in the European Union. That is speaking more than 1,000 words.
The European Union will start supplying Ukraine with 2 gigawatts of electricity. This will help cover half of the capacity gap in the energy system. Also, the EU will continue to help cover the budget deficit and support Ukraine for as long as necessary.
And today the summit has made 2 things absolutely clear. The first is a message for you and for the people of Ukraine. The EU will support you in every way we can for as long as it takes. We are not intimidated and will not be intimidated by the Kremlin, because Ukraine and the EU, we are family. And my second message, the future of Ukraine is within the European Union.
The Ukrainian parliament is determined to complete the EU integration process within the next 2 years. Negotiations on joining the European Union should already begin this year. Reported by Pavel Stelmach, Yulia Bezborodko, UATV News.